That was sad news that today, folks. I don't know if you've heard. Graham Thorpe, the great cricketer, English cricketer, great batsman, actually took his own life. I think we heard a few days ago now that he sadly died, passed away. And they did say he'd been very ill for a couple of years. I never knew that he had mental health problems at all. It transpires that a couple of years ago he actually tried to take his life the first time, and he spent many weeks in ICU thereafter. And his wife has brought it to the public domain over the last sort of 24 hours or so that he actually took his life this time. He was successful. She said he's had terrible depression and anxiety issues for a good few years now, but it came to a head a couple of years ago, and as I say, he tried to take his life. He must have been in a bad way to have been in ICU for that long, and I would imagine they've to an extent covered it up probably other than the close circle. And she said he just never really recovered, and he was of the opinion he'd be better off out of it, and his wife and kiddies would do better without him because he was dragging him down. How sad. Really sad. I've not got much experience, folks, with mental health. I've not at all. I know a couple of people that have had issues, but none really, but maybe only one I can think of. But it must be terrible, you know, when you've never had it yourself, never experienced it. I wouldn't wish it on anybody at all. But I remember Thorpe, he was a great batsman. I really enjoyed watching him. It was probably at the end of my cricket watching career. I've not really took to cricket now for 15-20 years. I fell out of love with it really, but I do remember him. Was he mainly a batter at 3 or 4? I think he was. I think he was a later generation of one of my favourite cricketers of all time, which would be Derek Randall. I used to love old Derek Randall. He used to bat 3, 4 or 5, something like that. Lovely shot maker, lovely boundary hitter. I think Thorpe was very similar, although I think Randall was better in the field. Randall was sensational. Did they call him Nijinsky? I think they did. He had a style all of his own. Brilliant fielder, brilliant cricketer. I'm not sure Thorpe was quite as good, but I liked him. And I know for many years he helped to coach the England team, so never knew he had any issues and never knew he had any problems. But then again, we don't often, folks, do we, with people with mental health? It's a shame. Look, I've said it before on here. I'm no agony aunt, agony uncle. We tried that once with one letter. It didn't get any further. But if anybody's on a real downer, I've said it before even about people being bullied. There's an email address to this channel. If you look in the description, you'll find it. If ever people have got any issues of any kind and they'd just like somebody to message back or two or to talk to, it just might help. I'm not saying I'm a fountain of knowledge or whatever else, but I'm a good listener and I give pretty good advice. I'm not always grumpy, I'm not always shouting and getting upset with the world. No, I'm not. Sometimes I'm pretty calm and I'm not a bad sounding board, some might say. Not wanting to blow my own trumpet at all, so I'll leave it at that. But if you've got any issues, whoever you might be, even if it's an old friend of mine, you know, somebody I'm not messaging or talking to at the moment, in the email section, and I'll always get back to you, whoever you might be, male or female, don't worry about that. Yeah, just get in touch. I'll speak to anybody that's on a downer, because it's sad to hear something like that, isn't it? And sometimes people just need somebody to talk to, and it's not altogether a bad thing. And for all I'm busier in life now, I can always find time for somebody, don't worry about that. But yeah, so Graham Thorpe, what a sad end. What a sad end. You know, we think these sportsmen are at the top of the game. We think they've got everything, they've had everything, but you just never know. You never know what's going on in there with anybody, do you? You know, but thoughts with his wife and children. What a shame. I think he had 2 daughters, I think I read. Such a sad thing. Really sad. Anyway, hopefully, just hopefully, wherever he may be, he's in peace now. Let's hope so anyway.